going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know when it comes to the next Battlefield game, I think there is a decent amount of people who are just ridiculously excited, but a lot, and I mean a lot of individuals are very skeptical about the future of this franchise, especially after the last two introductions. It's a bit rough and bumpy, but I do have some information for you guys today that I think will honestly put a smile on your face. Again, take it, with a grain of salt, but at the end of the day, this is a interesting discussion nonetheless. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch. And this Saturday, we are going to be doing a kind of like a full-out Battlefield stream. We're going to be touching upon Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5. Maybe we'll even go over to Battlefield 2042. Who knows? But of course, if you guys want to check that out, hang out and catch some good vibes, by all means, you can find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, as you can see right here from Battlefield Bulletin, DICE's producer David Serlin says, the Battlefield teams are looking to find the best possible cherry-pick strategy for each area on the next Battlefield. That means they are looking for the battlefield with the best destruction systems, gunplay, movement, etc. They want to rule out the things that didn't work from previous games, including Battlefield 2042. Now, first and foremost, I want to make this extremely clear because I know whenever I discuss things on this channel, people take it a bit too serious and they think that, oh no, he's falling into the trap. He already, he's convinced for the next Battlefield game. Look, guys, I find this interesting. It's fun to discuss these topics, so on and so forth. And I think it's something that will be fun for you guys in the comment section to go ahead and debate on. So I have to make it very clear, again, talk is talk. At the end of the day, when it comes to the next Battlefield game, we have to see results. We have to see the game itself, get it in our hands, try it out, or even just see real gameplay of what they're trying to offer. That's what we need to see here. Not, all the talk that we see on Twitter, but I do think that this is an interesting discussion to go ahead and have with this overall community here. I think this is a good idea, of course, if this is what they're planning to do for the next Battlefield game. And I think this is what the community has been kind of discussing for years and years and years now, right? I think everybody has always been sitting here thinking that the perfect Battlefield game would literally be a combination of multiple different titles, like the atmosphere of Battlefield 1. Maybe even the gunplay of Battlefield 4, the style, maybe I personally like the movement of Battlefield 5, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I thought it was pretty dang smooth. Some might think 2042 is a little bit, I don't know. 2042 wasn't shabby once you got the hang of it, but I just think for a casual player and a veteran player, Battlefield 5 had a nice little in-between factor there. 2042, I don't really know what I can say about that game that was, so outstanding. I'm sure a lot of you guys could probably think of something, but overall, I think that is what the community has been asking for all these years. Take the mix of all of these phenomenal games that we have had in this franchise. And again, we all know that these games have started off rough. Even Battlefield 4, a fan favorite. If you ask anybody in the Battlefield franchise, 9 times out of 10, you're going to hear Battlefield 4 at least in their top 3, right? Even Battlefield 4 launched in an absolutely atrocious spot. Now, we're not talking about Battlefield 2042 standards, but it still didn't launch in a good place, It had to be built up, and, a foundation had to be, completely settled for the game, and they did it. They did it over time, and now it's known as one of the best, but I have to make it very clear that the next Battlefield game, when it drops here, it's probably going to be in the same situation. It's going to be buggy. It's probably going to have a ton of problems. But what we're looking for is a good foundation of the game. Just like with Battlefield 4, they had to build up the game and, settle it down and get all the bugs polished off and make it playable. But people stuck with it because the game itself, down to its core, was really freaking solid, right? And the community will treat the next Battlefield game the same exact way, as long as you don't pull another 2042 or even a Battlefield 5, where the core foundation of the Battlefield game is messed with tremendously. They need to stick with these words and actually bring them to life. Bring out the best of each Battlefield game and keep out the worst of each Battlefield game and build on that mentality. And we can have an absolute banger of a title from that. But it really depends on if the developers want to do that or if they're going to be holding back on us. And another thing is that I hope that when they say they want to, bring in the best and, cherry pick out of every Battlefield game, they keep the community in the loop for this, right? I don't want them doing the thing that these developers always end up doing, where they just say, oh, well, we all personally believe that this is the best and this is the best. Not what the community thinks is the best, but we think that this is the best. And that is how we get games like 2042 or Battlefield 5 in the very beginning before they polished everything off and changed a lot of things around, That's how these things come to life, and that's why these games always have to be completely redone by the end of their life cycle, remove a ton of things in order to make them way more playable for the overall community. This time around, they have to take the community's words serious. They have to. And honestly, this is where the test server comes in. And it's why I said a little while ago, if you guys get into the test server, please, for the love of God, don't treat it as I'm going to try out the new Battlefield game. People who try out the test server have to go in with the intentions that they are going to give feedback, and they're going to talk back to the developers and tell them their real feelings about the title. This isn't a little test. This isn't something to see if you enjoy the game and if you are going to be coughing up money to buy it. Nobody cares about this in the test servers, but it worries me because millions upon millions have signed up for this test server, which makes me think that it's a lot of people in there who probably don't give a crap and just want to play it to play it. I hope that's not going to be the case. We need every single person to dive deep into this test and give their true opinions so we can get this cherry pick strategy and it can work properly. Hearing everybody voice their opinions on what they think are the best things out of all these different Battlefield games and what they think are the worst things out of these different Battlefield games would be huge. And that right there, in my opinion, is the only way this next Battlefield game will even remotely turn out to be a cool project. Because they might be able to get lucky and they could, come up with the perfect formula out of all these Battlefield games and they think that this is correct and they put it in and maybe it'll turn out good. Who knows? But the best way to guarantee that it will turn out good and there's not going to be any questions asked and we're not going to have to spend years fixing up the game instead of actually adding more content and doing cool things for the game. No, the best way to avoid that is to let the community, like I said, be a part of the process and give their opinions. Take their input on what the best things out of these Battlefield games actually are and build upon that. Build the foundation off of that and go. Run with it. Add a ton of content. Be creative in all these different departments. But when it comes to that foundation, the community should be involved 110%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to throw this out here for you all because I thought it was a very interesting quote. And, it's something that a lot of us have been wanting to hear for a long time, but I do want to say again, like I said in the beginning of this video, words are words. As good as these words sound, it's not guaranteed that this will be implemented into the next Battlefield game, let alone what we all think, this means. A lot of us probably think, like I said, the atmosphere of a Battlefield 1 gameplay, a Battlefield, so on and so forth. We all have a general idea. But this saying might be everything that's not in that idea. It might be the complete opposite. We have no clue. The only way that we will ever be able to tell is through gameplay. And if they can provide really solid gameplay, if they can give us a title that actually has a great foundation, I think that we as a community will be good then. Right now, everybody's still a bit iffy because we have been screwed over so many times, but all we need to see is a good foundation. That's quite literally it. I think everybody in this community expects bugs, problems, all the above at launch. I don't think anybody in this community expects anything other than that. So that's not going to be an issue. What's going to be an issue is if the game is nothing like Battlefield once again. If we get stuck with another 2042 where the developers thought it was a fantastic idea to remove one of the, biggest Battlefield staples, the class system, and incorporate specialists, if we have rough moves like that one, then the game is going to flop. It doesn't matter, the bugs and all that stuff, it doesn't matter. The game is going to flop. People won't want to stick around to see the end result of the title, and people will not be revisiting that title either to talk good upon it, The majority will probably revisit it to roast it up a little bit again. So as long as we can incorporate the community and get their advice on what, the best things from each Battlefield game are, I think we will be in a very good spot. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed his video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. It posts daily here at 8 Eastern Time. And of course, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch. And again, this Saturday, we are going to be doing a full Battlefield stream. Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, 3, 2042, maybe even 5, We'll try to hit them all up. So if you guys are interested and you want to check that out, you can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.